Hello, my name is Jessica Crunkleton. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, licensed mental health counselor, certified alcohol and drug abuse counselor, approved EMDR consultant, sand tray therapist, private practice owner, and a bunch of other stuff. Today, I wanted to come to you and talk a little bit about the what ifs, specifically what ifs related to EMDR therapists, starting, working with clients. I do consultation calls for EMDR clinicians in training who are training to become EMDR therapists. I do consultation calls 6 days a week for basic training, also for certification. I've done nearly 40 EMDR basic trainings, 2 day, 5 day, you name it, online, in person. I've worked with over 700 participants providing consultation for them. So I feel like I have a pretty good pulse of the field at this point. One of the big barriers I would say to clinicians starting this work is fear, the what ifs. For me, it was what if somebody's brain falls out? It sounds really silly now, but I really was worried. What if someone's brain falls out because of the BLS and just my concerns about that? Was I good enough? And I think a lot of people struggle with this. Um, and so, one of the things I want to share is the importance of working towards addressing those fears and not letting that hold you back from doing what you are capable of doing. When you go to an EMDR basic training, one of the things that can happen that's different, I think, from some other trainings is if you have like anxieties, fears, if you feel like you need to be perfect, things like that, it's probably going to come up. Not all the time, not for everybody, but I've seen it happen for a lot of participants. And so, because when you're doing this training, you might have been in this field 5, 10, 1, or 20 years, however long you've been doing this. But when you come to an EMDR basic training, you're starting from scratch in this training, particularly. And so it can bring up a lot of anxieties. Oh my gosh, I have to read a script. I want to do it right. I want to do this part right. Am I good enough? Am I doing it right? And I'll just tell you up front, you're not going to do it right. You're not going to do it completely right. You're going to make mistakes. All right. You're going to have cases and you may not fully know what you're doing. You might forget the steps. You might forget the phases. You might do one before the other. And you know what? That's a part of the growth process. That's why you have the consultation calls. That's why people like myself and many others are here to help you through that process because we went through it too. As I shared, I was terrified somebody's brain was going to fall out. You want to know why? Because my negative belief about self, I had two of them particular. I'm responsible for everything, which makes me an awesome therapist, but was a challenge doing EMDR. And also, I was concerned, am I good enough? Because when I went to my basic training, I was the only person of color in the room. This was 5 years ago. There was nobody in the room that looked like me. I don't recall any videos of people that looked like me. I didn't know any EMDR therapists that were African American. Most of my clients, at that time, I was living near Gary, Indiana, and that's where a lot of my clients were. And I just was really concerned if I could do this. And so for the first year, I only did resourcing because I was terrified that I was going to mess up someone. Their brain was going to fall out. They were going to end up in a mental hospital. I was going to lose my license. Like it was all bad, catastrophizing. But one of the things I did was I went out and I found my own EMDR therapist, and I really advocate for doing your own personal work. I'm a huge fan of that. But in particular, we worked on my fear of not being good enough or my fear around feeling responsible for everything and just help work through some of those things. So, whatever it is that you need to do, therapy, consultation, talking to friends, whatever it is that you need to do, you need to do it. Don't let those fears stop you. Okay. EMDR is very robust and very forgiving. That's one the great words from one of the trainers, Crystal Whitlow, who actually helped train me. And I've just heard so many other things. But again, the main point I want to make is don't let your fear stop you. Okay. As Steve Harvey would say, your parachute will open. You have to jump. Don't get stuck in resourcing. I know it might seem easier to stay where you're at, right? To not grow to, oh, I'm just going to fall back into talk therapy or the stuff that I already know. And you could stay there. You could, right? But there on the other side of fear, right, is progress. There is so much out there that you can teach your clients. There is so much further that you might be able to take them And you might be able to help them get there further. This is not even just for EMDR, for other things as well. But in particular for EMDR, is something that I see quite often. And I think it's something that we don't talk about enough. And this is a big deal. And so I would say, whoever you are, wherever you come from, your clients need you. The field needs you. This training is a huge investment financially, physically, emotionally. It's intense, right? And so you want to get out here, right? Give it your best shot. Things are going to happen. Like just now, I wasn't planning for my phone to ring, and here it rings in the middle of a video. But you know what? We just keep it rolling. Go with that. Don't let those things stop you. Don't let the what if stop you from greatness, because you are so needed. You're needed in the field. And so go to your consultation calls. Let them know I'm struggling. I'm feeling stuck in resourcing. I don't know how to get started. That's what we're here for. We will help you to get to where you need to go. And again, like I said, I would also encourage you to do your own work if there's some additional work that you need to do. I think also the other part of it is having a good understanding, especially I know with EMDR consulting, we have a range of tools that you can use. So you don't just have to go and do big R, go into the deep end of the pool. And also you're going to be doing resourcing. So you're not just going to get out here and go and do big R and boom, you're out there. You're going to resource. You're going to make sure your client is appropriate. You're going to make sure that they're ready to do that work, to go deeper, to do that work with you. All right. I do believe there's one saying that says you can't take clients farther than you have gone. I believe there is some truth to that. Now, I don't believe you have to go through exactly everything that your clients have gone through in order to be able to help them. But I do think it's important for you to have confidence and competence to do this work. Okay. So don't be afraid. Don't let the what if stop you. Get out there, do this great work that you're called to do. All right. See ya. Bye bye.